Hello there, Leo. Thank you for stopping by for your tarot insights. What we're going to be looking at today is one life cycle. We all have several life cycles that go on at the same time. They tend to overlap. So you can have a life cycle about home life, romance, school life, work life, etc. And a life cycle just sets us up to either learn something or experience something. So as I'm going through this life cycle for you, Leos, I'm expecting that you're already into the setup of this life cycle, at least most of you are, and you may or may not be experiencing the lesson or experience so far. If you're not yet, you probably will be pretty soon. And then I'm going to talk about the fulfillment or the end of the life cycle. When I talk about that, it's important that you realize I'm not talking about right before you kick the bucket. I am just talking about before you graduate from this life cycle to your next lesson or experience and your next life cycle. Okay, so let's put down some cards and let's see what comes up for Leo. Life cycles, by the way, I've seen them last anywhere from 20 minutes to actually years. Just depends on how long you take to embrace the lesson or experience or resist the lesson or experience of the life cycle. Okay, so let's see what you've got going on. We've got some interesting cards here. The first one talks to me about your environment, and this is telling me that right now, well, first let's back up. What is an environment? In this reading, an environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. And so what I'm seeing about your environment is right now it's not really everything that you would like it to be. Maybe you're in an environment where you just can't do the things you would normally do. I am actually recording this on Thanksgiving. Yes, I know, that's kind of ate up. But my family is over 800 miles away, and this is what I love to do, so why not? So it could be that for you, for your environment, you're away from home, so you're not doing the things that you would normally be doing. That could be what's going on. Or it could be that, you know, maybe there's some kind of remodeling going on at work or at home, and so you're not able to normally do the things that you would be doing. But there is something going on somewhere in your environment that keeps you from doing everything you normally would. All right, so let's look at the next thing that talks to me about your subconscious leanings. Looks to me like you have taken some time to really think some things over and to get to know yourself, your ins and outs, what triggers you, what makes you happy, all of that good stuff. And now subconsciously you're looking for more connection with people in your life. For some of you, Leos, this is going to be more connection with a particular person, or this could be looking for that particular person to have a deep connection with. But for others of you, and I feel like probably for the majority of you, this talks about you're just looking for people that you can connect with in a deeper way now that you understand more about yourself. You know, there's something about as you've understanding more about yourself, now on a subconscious level, you're looking for other people that you can relate to, probably better than the friends that you had before you went into this process of understanding. All right, so let's look at learning style and communication style. I feel like right now, Leos, for this particular life cycle especially, whatever it is that you're learning or researching or building your information in, I feel like you're doing that in a very logical, almost mathematical way. You're just building everything up very logically. I don't have... I was about to say I don't have a lot of feeling here, but I do have some interest and some investigative stimulation that is coming out of whatever it is you're learning or you're researching right now. Now, as far as communication style, as far as it pertains to this particular life cycle, I think that the messages that you're sending are thought out. Many of those messages will actually be written out. And I think that you will be sending communications not to a group of people, but communicating with individuals one-on-one mostly for this particular life cycle. Now, the next thing that we're looking at does talk to me about work, and this is, we'll start with the kind of work that is how you make a living or what makes you feel fulfilled every day to actually do. Let's see what's going on here. So I feel like there's some kind of element about your work that has to do with protection. And it could be protection of other people, it could be protection of nature, it could be just protecting the finances of the company that you're working for or with. But there's definitely, this could be about, oh, I'm hearing about protection of the reputation. But there's definitely something going on here as far as protection. And I feel like not only is your role have something to do with protection, and this may be just a part of your role, or this may be your role, but I feel like it's also something that you do that you kind of see any threats coming or perceive threats coming and head them off at the pass before they get to be too much. And let's see, as far as inner work, what do we have going on here? So I think that your inner work that you have going on right now, Leo, is that there have been some disappointments in your life. So, you know, you're human. You've had some things that have disappointed you. And your inner work has been to let go of those disappointments instead of holding on to them and clutching them to your chest, to let them go and to just make them, you know, part of the past and move forward without putting so much thought or energy into, well, this happened last time, so I don't know if I can do this other thing this time, that type of thing. You're just letting it go, and you're letting yourself have learned the lessons you need to learn, but still letting go of the disappointment so you can move forward with some appropriate, with an appropriate emotional response to the things that are happening now in your current time. So that's your inner work. I hope you guys understand what I was saying there. The next thing that comes up talks to me about that part of your personality that's being grown or expanded right now. What do we have? What do we have? I think right now, Leos, for this particular life cycle, what you're looking at is you're seeing all the things that, wouldn't it be nice if, all of those wouldn't it be nice if things. And as you're looking at all those wouldn't it be nice if things, you're starting to take some action on them. You're starting to take some steps towards bringing some of those into your life right now. And that's where you're being grown or expanded in the ability to be able to let yourself think that maybe some of those things that you're dreaming about actually could really be. And that's what's allowing you to take some of those steps. So you're expanding in your belief that things could be better for yourself. Okay, so now let's move on to things that you stand for. This is very specific, but for a lot of you, things that you stand for are physical fitness, your own physical fitness. So it may be that some of you Leos have a workout regimen and people in your life maybe are trying to say, you know, do you have to spend that many hours working out? Do you have to spend that much time working out? Why can't you spend some time hanging out with me? Or it could be that maybe you're being very careful about the foods that you eat. And, you know, people are saying, you know, do you have to be so picky? Why do you have to make it so hard to cook for you? Da, 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 da. But there's something definitely coming up about physical fitness, and that's coming in really strongly for a lot of you. Is there anything else here? I also have the sense that you're standing up for the idea of for some of you, what you're standing up for is the idea of that you can win things, you can win some battles in life by being peaceful, that you don't have to always be on the offensive. You don't have to always be taking things to win things, that sometimes you can win things in a peaceful manner. So if this is talking about getting a promotion, if this is talking about convincing somebody of an idea, whatever it is, you have an understanding that strength is not always in being assertive or aggressive, but sometimes that strength is in just being and showing that example and letting people learn things in their own time and come around to reality without you trying to push them faster than their time is. So peaceful winning is the word that I'm hearing. So I'm not sure what you guys are trying to win, those of you that it applies to in that way. Let's see. Next thing that we have, how other people perceive you. Other people perceive you as being emotionally fulfilled, as feeling pretty happy with things that are going on in your life. That, yeah, emotionally fulfilled is the best way to put that. So, and a lot of times the people who, when I'm looking at what they think of you, are generally the people that you have to stand up to. So if they're the ones that are coming at you about, your physical fitness, or if they're the ones that are, and what you're doing to maintain that or improve that, or if they're the ones that are coming at you about, living peacefully, doing things peacefully, either way, whoever it is that's coming at you, they see you as somebody who is happy and feeling fulfilled in your life and in what you're doing in your life. Okay, so lesson or experience as we move through this life cycle, looks like you are really learning to appreciate and take care of yourself in some new ways, in ways that, maybe there were other things that demanded your attention for a long time. For some of you, I'm picturing that you may have children that have moved out of the house, and so now you don't have to focus so much on helping those children. So now you're finding new ways to pamper yourself. I'm getting a really specific image of somebody exploring different flavors of teas. I'm not sure where that's coming from, so if that applies, it would be nice if you left a nice little comment or note that that was you. But I do have you really finding happiness and finding peaceful happiness. I feel like if there's been a lot of drama lately, I feel like you're getting away from most of that drama. And when I say away from, I don't mean necessarily that you are moving away from it, but I mean in your own self, where the drama might before have gotten you stirred up as well as other people around you. Now you are just kind of taking it in your stride. You're handling it in a much more peaceful way. You're not getting all riled up just because everybody else is. You are just in a much more peaceful, calm place. And that, of course, is going to have something to do with the fact that you have done some discovery about yourself, some learning about yourself. Okay, so as we get into fulfillment of the life cycle, this is what happens as you integrate the lesson or experience into your life. So as you integrate this, learning how to take better care of yourself and how to really appreciate yourself and how to be peaceful in spite of whatever's going on around you, we do have some things coming up. Now, the first one talks to me about decisions, that you have some decisions that are coming in, and those decisions have to do with every option that is up for deciding about is a good option, but you have to pick one to focus on it, because if you try to scatter your energy too many different directions, you're not going to get very far with any of these options. But if you pick one and focus on it, then you can really do some things that are exciting and fun and wonderful with whatever option that you pick. You don't have a bad choice here. Whatever choice you choose would be a good one. And I think that that is giving you some trouble. You're not used to not having some bad choice or some way to knock things out of the running. So since all these choices are good, you're having a hard time deciding which choice you actually want to go with. That's the first thing that shows up. The next thing that shows up is, I feel like because you're having a hard time choosing which option you want to go with, you're causing a little bit of a delay for yourself in something financial. How this all ties together, I don't exactly know, but you guys will recognize it as you're walking through it. But there's something financial. So maybe these options are, maybe you have options about starting a new business and you're really great and you know that one of three of these, any three of these or any two of these would be successful, or however many you have to choose from. But because you're having such a hard time deciding which one to land on, that's slowing down the success that the business could have if you would just pick one and run with it. And obviously this is, I'm just reading the energies as it sits today. So if you see this reading and you decide, well, wait a second, I don't want to hold up my finances because I'm having a hard time making a decision. I'm just going to make a decision. You may decide to flip a coin or draw straws or who knows what, just so that you can see the finances coming into you in a positive way more quickly. Free will can change anything. So just because I see it here doesn't mean it's written in stone. You do have the opportunity to change it. Now, the last card that I have coming up, to me, talks about tightening up the belt. So I do feel like, you know, because we have the delay in the money and news about money coming in, and that's directly tied to the delay in making the decision that you have to make in this life cycle. Because of that delay, that's making you tighten up your budget. You have to tighten up your budget. So once again, the best thing you can do here is not take so much time to make whatever the decision this is, so that you can choose that option to move forward with, because then that's going to keep you from having to wait on good news about money. And also, if you still have to tighten up the belt just because you're doing something new, at least, you know, that is going to be energy that moves through more quickly, so that you can move on to a better financial situation more quickly. So you want to get through, you know, the tightening of the belt as quickly as possible. And, you know, the way that comes up in this reading to do that is to not dilly-dally about any decision that you have to make about going forward. Go ahead. I mean, you don't have a bad choice here. This card clearly states that the choices that you have are all choices that would be enjoyable and happiness making for you. So there is no bad choice. So, you know, go ahead and just pick something and move forward with it. That would be the advice that would come off of this spread, so that you can avoid any kind of any kind of delays and financial rewards for whatever it is that you're picking. Okay? So that's what I see for you, Leo. I hope that you find this helpful and that a lot of you resonate with it. Everyone have a fantastic, fantastic week or month or however long it takes to work through this life cycle. And I will see you all back here on the next video. Peace out.